Sam DeStefano, a.k.a. Mad Sam. Gangster. Like most of the hoods that controlled the Chicago mob in the 1950s through the 1970s, DeStefano came out of the 42 gang, but unlike most of the other members of the gang, DeStefano wasn't born in Chicago's Little Italy. Rather, he was born and raised in middle-class surroundings in southern Illinois and moved to Chicago while he was a teenager. There was little doubt in law enforcement or underworld circles that DeStefano was completely insane. Rogue cop Tommy Dorso told the FBI, DeStefano is not normal. Mentally, physically, or spiritually. And he knows it. Dorso went on to say that he once saw Mad Sam roll on the floor, spit running from his mouth, begging Satan to show him mercy and screaming over and over again, "I'm your servant, command me." In the basement of his expansive home at 1656 North Sayre Avenue in Chicago, DeStefano had a complete, soundproofed torture chamber. On the wall was a wooden cabinet where DeStefano kept his weapons of choice, razor-sharp ice picks, with which he used to stab his victims in the groin and ears. When a Chicago restaurant owner named Adler fell behind in his payments to DeStefano's juice operation, DeStefano kidnapped him off the streets, dragged him to his basement and stabbed him with his ice picks, killing him and then dumping his body in a sewer drain a few blocks from his house. Police found the body in the spring. The sanitation department was trying to unblock the sewer, which had backed up and yanked out Adler's body, which was perfectly preserved in the ice. On September 26, 1955, DeStefano was called at his home by a syndicate hood and told to take his brother Michael, a drug addict, out of a Cicero casino where he was causing a problem. DeStefano went to the casino, took his brother out to his own car and shot him in the head 5 times. Then he drove his brother's dead body to their brother Mario's house in Cicero, where he stripped the body of its clothing, scrubbed it clean, dressed it in new clothes, put the body into a car, drove it to a street corner in Chicago, went home and phoned the police and told them where the body could be found. The mob's leadership overlooked DeStefano's madness because he produced enormous amounts of money for the mob. In the mid-1950s, when mobsters considered loan sharking beneath their dignity, DeStefano leaped into the business and cornered the market. The bosses, Ricca, Accardo, and Giancana, invested $100,000 in DeStefano's loan business and got a return for 10 times that amount. It was the murder of Leo Foreman that brought DeStefano down. Foreman, a commercial real estate broker, was also one of DeStefano's collectors. One afternoon in 1963, DeStefano was in Foreman's office and there was an argument, which ended with Foreman throwing DeStefano out of his office. A few days later, DeStefano ordered gangsters Tony Spilotro and Chucky Grimaldi lure Foreman out to DeStefano's brother's house in Cicero. Once he was there, Foreman was beaten and carried down to the basement where DeStefano was waiting, a hammer in his hand. He hammered in Foreman's knees, head, crotch, and ribs, stabbed him with an ice pick 20 times, and then shot him in the head, killing him. They dumped the body in the trunk of a car and left it on the end of an empty street.